Time now for Top That Trade with Bill Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor, and Alan Nuckman, a pro options trader. Good to see you guys. Round number one, oil over. Crude has come down to 3-month lows just as a solar jet is taking flight around the world. Coincidence or the end of the oil era?
I'd rather be a buyer here and look for that to bounce.
I would have to agree with Alan. And you know what? Solar is years away. I don't care if we fly a solar airplane around the world. It's not going to replace oil anytime soon, especially if you know what's happening in the world. And the sun goes down, right? And Alan, of course, has an electric car, but he can't go very far because the cord keeps pulling out.
Let's keep flowing. Round number two, flows. After years of record fund outflows, emerging markets had $10 billion in inflows in 1 week. What does that mean for the stock market?
I'll tell you what it means for the perception of the global economy is that they're very concerned about Brexit. Let's face it. There was
it could just be cash.
Well, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I see you're seeing a retraction out of Europe, the uncertainty around the Brexit. We're seeing reports that they're going into a recession, and people are looking for a return. And let's face it, the returns in Europe are going to be questionable. The other emerging markets, they've been beat up so bad.
A shift in allocation.
A shift of allocation, out of Europe where the risk is into them.
Because you look at the FTSE, it just made new highs, so it continues to go. I think part of emerging markets is just they were beaten down so much because, again, the theme today is the dollar. The dollar strength had put so much pressure on those emerging economies. I like Canada. I know Canada's not an emerging market so much. Maybe Americans think it is, but
right.
I think it's undervalued here at these levels. And the Canadian dollar's been trading between 75 and 80. That target's 85. So look for that to continue to gain some strength. It's a commodities play. It's also a dollar play.
There you go. I agree with that. I think right now, if you think oil's going to go up, the Canadian dollar is going to go up. If you think the dollar is going to come back down, the U.S. dollar, then oil's going to more than likely go up.
Loonies.
Yes, you are.
Round number three, Apple I. Apple had its best day recently in 2 years. Has the worm turned? What do you think? Apple over or under $100 by the end of the year?
Well, it shot up above 100 with that earnings bounce, but they sold their billionth iPhone. Billion.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Right.
So this is a momentum deal here. The momentum in the sentiment got so negative, but now it's been trading between 90 and 110, so a breakout to the upside here targets 130, which is about 20% higher.
I think it's the same thing. I agree. We're above 100 by the end of the year because let's face it, Apple, we know they can sell a lot of cheap iPhones, and I think the market's going to wonder if they can sell their new expensive iPhone. One of the reasons we saw such a big comeback is that Apple went to a low-cost model, and that actually increased sales. Sales had been really hurting, in
kind of
China
lame
and other
duck
places.
right now with their models.
Because of the concerns here, right?
When
And
they
so
come out something
basically,
new.
this new iPhone, though, if it doesn't wow them, look for the stock to top
So
after
this
the
stock
announcement.
is down 15% over last year, even though it's come back to unchanged for 2016, so it still has a lot more upside. Now, let's say the stock market could rally 15%. My target on the S&P is 2,400. A 15% rise in the overall market is 2,500. So that's not unreasonable if things get rolling once again.
I say buy the rumor, sell the fact on the new iPhone. It'll get a lot of buzz, but I think the sales will disappoint initially. Almost every time we get a big run-up before a new Apple product, it always disappoints, at least initially. Buy the rumor, sell the fact.
Technically, things have turned. We've seen a series of higher lows and higher highs, so the chart patterns look good. Let's see what happens from here.
Let's see what happens from here in our bonus round question. Here you go, guys. It's been a tough time for Chipotle. So this is a true or false question. True or false? Is Chipotle serving burgers?
Not today.
No, false. Is Chipotle? How can that be true? False? I don't understand. I'll say false.
we have
No
false
burgers.
from Phil.
No burgers at Chipotle, for heaven's sakes.
Alan?
Never.
Yes.
Never a burger.
Everybody's getting in the burger business.
I'm not a big Chipotle guy.
a
Never
lot
have
of
been.
profit.
So you say what, Alan?
Yes, true.
No.
The answer is true.
I did?
They will be serving
Whoa.
burgers in Ohio.
Really?
Yes.
I used to keep it separate because that used to be a McDonald's spinoff. I thought they'd keep out of the burger business.
They're
Maybe
going back to the burger
non-
basic.
I did hear about the Bernie Sanders super value meal. That's that's
Okay.
perfect. No, seriously, you
that's
can
it.
buy anything you want, and the guy behind you has to pay for it. It's a great deal.
Oh, Business First AM continues after this.